Well, let's get right to it with our futures provided by Bar Chart. And Brian Hoop's here to help us out with this a little bit. Over in the December corn contract, we're back to the higher side, but only by half a penny, 3.70 1/4 a bushel. March is a dime higher than that. It's at 3.80. That's up 3/4 of a cent. Brian, we went negative, and now we're coming back positive here.
Yeah, John, good morning. I think we're going to see a lot of this choppy back and forth action like we are seeing in this corn market. Soybeans could see the same type of market action in here. We're starting to get some yield reports trickling in, and the market is becoming more and more sensitive to that, and maybe going to steer away from some of the demand news that we're hearing, and more focused on what the supply is going to be. And so far from producers, it's variable yields. Some areas that were really dry in Iowa, producers being surprised by how good corn and soybean yields are coming in, still down from what they would normally receive, but just much better than what they thought after a very dry stretch of July and August.
November soybeans up 4 cents at 10.26 1/2. January up 4. That March is up 4 3/4. And Brian, today that Chicago wheat market, it's higher as well. December up a nickel at 5.59 3/4. Kansas City wheat is just now up 7 at 4.94 1/4. And even, even the Minneapolis wheat is up 5 at 5.39 3/4. So we got a little bit of strength over here in the beans and the wheat today.
Yeah, the soybean market, has had that strong demand trends, had a really volatile overnight period. There's some forecasters talking about dry weather in parts of Brazil, and maybe these forecasts have turned drier, and that was a reason for this market to rally. But the wheat market is focusing on Black Sea region weather, and that forecast has turned much more drier. And so even though Russia looks like they're going to grow a bigger crop, that regions of the Black Sea area could have some issues going forward.
All right, Brian, we're going to be back in just a moment. I want to get your thoughts on where cash cattle trade might end up this week as well. So we'll do that next. Stay with us here on the Market Day Report. Let's go straight to our futures provided by Bar Chart when it comes to this live cattle market. October down 27 at 106.42. December down 50 cents a hundredweight at 110.10. And the February is down 70 cents. October feeder cattle down 135 at 140.90. November feeders down 125 at 141.47. But the hog market is certainly a different story. October's up 230 at 67.90 off of the earlier high of the day, but December's up 230 and February up $1.95. Back over here on the cash cattle trade discussion here for just a moment, Brian. I've seen some asking prices tossed out there at 106 in the South. And according to my old farm broadcaster math, that'd be about, anywhere from $2 to right at $3 higher than last week.
Yeah, that may be an optimistic view of the cash markets this week. The cash does look to be, in that steady range, maybe higher for the week. Some of the show list numbers are down compared to a week ago, and that's where these cash calls are coming from. But it appears that the Packers are coming into this week with a lot of inventory, over 124,000 head, and that would be the largest in the last 3 weeks. And so that, I think, puts the cash market in a little jeopardy of not trading that much higher, maybe a steady to $1 higher type trade. And then you've got the cattle on feed report coming out on Friday. And last month we had big placement numbers, much larger than the expected numbers, and that did weigh on the cattle futures. And I think that's going to limit any advance for those deferred contracts going into Friday's report.
What do you think, Brian? Do you get the feel that maybe, like in the past, we may wait to trade cash cattle until after that COF?
Yeah, I certainly think that's a real possibility. The Packers, if they do have that much inventory as what's been talked about, I think they do wait until later in the week before they start to trade more cash cattle.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Should be interesting, especially with the cattle on feed estimates out the way they are. Looks to me like that could, and if it comes to fruition like it says, it could be just a little on the bearish side. Hope you have a good day today, Brian. Thank you very much for joining us. Always take care of yourself. We'll talk to you again very soon. And that is the very latest from the market desk, Janet.